Hello and welcome to this Golang journey. So we are now on the third video where I'm gonna introduce the book I bought and the one I'm gonna use to go through all this learning process. And you're gonna be able to see my way to work and to learn things. So usually I don't take a book for that, but it seems that it's a book that has been advised so much now that I feel forced to buy it and to try this way. It's gonna help me to get more vocabulary, technical vocabulary in English, of course. You will see that sometimes it can be a little bit complicated for me because I'm from France, and as everybody knows, everybody know, French people are not really good with English. So I'm doing my best. I try not to have a too strong accent and also make sure that you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so I'm going through this this Golang learning process journey with this book, which is called The Go Programming Language by Alan A. Donovan and Brian W. Kanigan. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure I already seen this name, Brian W. Kanigan, for C language book. Yes, the famous one is from Brian Kanigan and Dennis Ritchie. Yeah, it was the first book I bought actually about programming language when I was younger. So, okay, that's the same guy who helped to write this book. So, let me find it, Donovan. Yes, that is one. So this is the book I will go through. Um, I don't really know how it will looks like. I'm just going to read the book and do the exercise which is asked to be done, and also the one with shown, the examples they gave, and maybe we can talk about it and just see how it goes. But definitely, it's not like something really structured. I'm just going through this process by recording some video, and I hope it could help some people to see that. So just let's go um, a little bit YOLO, and we will see how it goes. So this is the book about. It has been advised by many people, so many people, so that I felt like I have to try this one. Like, um, so as I said just previously, my first book was the C language one by Brian Kanigan and Dennis Ritchie. And I really struggled to learn the C language with this one, and actually didn't really help. I have been able to learn the C language only by going to a school um, where I had to do exercise every day. I won't mention the name of the school because it hasn't it won't be really useful for this video, but it was a peer-to-peer learning environment without teacher, and we had like exercise every day in C language, and we were supposed to make them, like, for example, recreate the putstr function and write it. So let's start the book. um, so I don't have I have a real book. It's not an electronic version of it. So I will try my best to avoid reading useless things and try to make my best to only read what could be useful for us. So I think it's gonna be really hard to do everything in one video. I mean, one chapter by video, because some of them are really tough. When I'm looking at it right now, it looks like it's gonna be, maybe some of them will be split in more than one video. So let's start. The first one is the tutorial one, where we will go through the hello words, for for every language. When you start to learn it, you always have to print in the standard output the hello words in your terminal. So hello world, command line argument, finding duplicate lines, animated GIF, fetching URL, fetching URL concurrently, a web server, and loose ends. Wow. Wow. That's so much for the first chapter. I would have never thought about going through like animated GIF of fetching an URL. Well, let's see. Let's see how it goes. Tutorial. So you will have some moment where there is nothing displayed on my screen, obviously because I'm reading the book. The first one is just an hello world with a Chinese character, probably to mention the fact that Unicode is already handled by the FMT package. We'll start with the non-traditional hello world example, which appears at the beginning of the C programming language published in 1978. C is one of the most direct influence on Go, and hello world illustrate a number of centralized IDs. So I can write it. I don't have the Chinese character, but I will probably just Google a random one. Damn. Oops. We can go. I think we can go with theme at the moment because just increasing a little bit the size to be more readable for you. Because it's just few lines of code. Go mkdir. Mkdir is to create a folder. So let's call that tutorial. Touch beam hello-world.go. Package main, as always, because Golang is made of package. I said library in the previous video. Actually, it's like a library, but it's not. Golang is fully made with packages. So we import FMT. So to print inside the out to print to print inside the standard output, we need to use this package. We have the function main that will return, or not return, but print the hello. And then I'm supposed to put a random Chinese character. So Chinese kanji. Oh, kanji is Japanese. Japanese kanji. And let's copy a random one. Can I get one on? Yes, I can get this, for example. And then what they say is that the package FMT already handles the Unicode characters. So here it is. Hello world. As you can see, it's here, and now I can just run it. And it prints hello and something in Japanese here. In the video, it was also some Japanese, I think. I'm not the master of this, but I can recognize some of them. So what they say is that Go is a compiled programming language. So I already mentioned that we have a compilation on the previous video. The cool Go toolchain converts the source program and the things it depends on into instruction. And the things it depends on into instruction in the native machine language of a computer. These tools are accessed through a single command called Go that has a number of subcommands. The simplest of these subcommands is run, which compiles the source code, and from one or more source code files we name endin.go, links it with library, then run the resulting executable file. Alright, so I already did it. But they also explained that you can also compile directly. So I already showed this, but we can make the same. Hello world. And then, so Go build is to compile the program and create a binary. -o is to say I want to minus out. O is output. So I want the binary to be called hello world. And then you can specify all the .go file inside your folder, but inside this one I have only one, so I prefer to write it myself. So up, now I can, so if I take a look to the folder, I have my helloworld.go file here, so the source code, and once compiled you have the binary here. So file hello world is an executable for Mac OS. So because I'm working on the Mac OS X, it's the right one. And now if I execute the binary or run the binary, then it prints the hello world and it terminates and give me back the input, give me back the TTY, because the program is terminated. So what does it say after that? Blah, blah, it fetch the source. So it explains also the go get, that you can go get source code, and then it will fetch the source code and place it in the corresponding directory. I already showed you that on the previous video, so we will avoid to do the same thing 2 times. So package main is special. It defines a standalone executable program, not a library. Within package main, the function main is also special. It's where execution of the program begins. Whatever main does, it what the program does. Of course, main will normally call upon functions in all the packages to do much of the work, such in this function fmt.println. So to, of course, print with a new line the hello world that we just wrote, which is actually just an hello, but anyway. We just tell the compiler what packages are needed by the source file. That's the role of the import declaration that follows the package declaration. The hello world program uses only one function from one other package, but most of program will import more package. Yes, that's something to know. I'm gonna show you that right now. So I'm gonna use VS Code because it's simpler for me. But for example, if we go inside this code we have right now, one tutorial. So we have FMT here. So we import FMT, but it's not because I import FMT that's the only one library or package that's gonna be used, because actually this package can also import some other package, and we can check it by using, for example, can I do that? Oh no, I don't have the package for that. But we can see, for example, the Go source code is open source. Go source code FMT. For example, we can take a look to maybe like this. Yeah, sorry. So for example, with command click on the function, I can see the source code of println, and println is actually using fprintln. Fprintln is just to specify if we want to use the standard output, standard error output, or something else. So println is only the OS, the standard output. That's why it's gonna call fprintln, which has the arguments for specifying the file descriptor where you want to write. But my point is here, for example, if we go to the top of the file, we can see that the package fmt is actually calling much more other packages, and it goes like that in a loop. So for example, if we can see that the OS one has been used here. Let's see where. So here, of course. If we take a look to this one, so we are now in the package OS. We can see that package OS is calling all those imports. So it's also maybe why I should check for that, but that's also maybe why. For example, if we take a look to the size of just the hello world, it's already 2 mega, so 1.9. It's quite a lot for just one simple print. So for example, if we were doing this with C language, let's do that at the same file. hello world.c. It's been a while. Include unistd.hash int main. I don't have anything to write, so up, and then write. So inside the one is a standard output. Hello world 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's put a new line. 0. I hope it's compiling. Oh, it's a shame for me. Yeah, it's gonna compile. And then, yes, it works. So if we make the difference between both, you can see that the one in Go is like way more easier. So that's something to consider. When sometimes it's maybe better to use C if you want to save some space. But it's not the point here. Just now, so you know that C language is much more teeny than with the Golang one. And I don't really know why. That's probably a question I should ask or try to figure out why. But I will keep that for maybe another part of the journey, like for example at the end, or another playlist where I can go deeper inside some of the things I was trying to understand during my journey. All right. So what else? You must import exactly the package you need. The program will not compile if there are missing imports and if there's unnecessary run. The strict requirement prevent reference to unused package from accumulative as programmable. Yeah, so that's also a good thing about Golang is that you cannot compile if you are not using if you import a library that you are not using. So let me show you that. Of course, I will come up with a wrong example, I'm pretty sure, but let's say hello world, the binary, the source code, and let's say now I want to import OS here. As you can see, OS is imported, but I don't use it at all. So now if I try to compile it, I have an error saying imported and not used OS. So that's really awesome, and I think to maintain your code with the time it's really important when you are working on the huge work or binary, and then you have plenty of files, and you just remove something somewhere, and you don't think about removing the import because you probably think it's also used in the same file for another function. Then here, for example, when you would try to compile, you would say there is a problem. So you avoid to import library which is not used. And maybe GoFMT will remove it actually because it can detect that it's not used. Let's just check. No. Yeah. GoFMT is just here for reformatting the code. It's not checking that you are not importing a function you don't use. So for example, with VS Code, also why I like it, because here, for example, import OS, and I save the file. When I save it, it just disappears. So if I write it again, then I go, for example, here, whatever, and I'm doing another println, for example, hey, and I save, it will remove the unused package. I really like VS Code for that. It avoids some hassle. The import declaration must follow the package declaration. After that, the program, blah blah blah. So this has no. So yes, this is important for you. After that, the program consists of the declaration of function, variable, constant, and type, introduced by the keyword func, var, const, and type. So yes, func is the keywords for creating a function. You also have var to declare a variable. For example, var a string, const for a constant, const string, and then you can put whatever you want, hello, and then it will say it's probably not used. As the it's already here, so no, and then yep, but it's not used. You should say something about it because you are not supposed to have also variable which isn't used. But anyway, so that's it. A function declaration consists of a keyword func, the name of the function, a parameter list, empty for main, a result list, also empty here for main, and the body of the function. The statement that define what it does enclosed in braces. Well, we will take a closer look to a function in chapter 5. So here, keyword func, name of the function, arguments, parameters. Well, it's supposed to have the return value here, the return, the returns here. And then between these two braces, you have the body. That's pretty almost everything needed here. I think GoFMT tool, rewrite code in. Oh, nice. They also talk about GoFMT at the first chapter. That's really good actually to come up with clean code at the first chapter of the book and give the right habits for coders, because most of them start learning. For example, I've seen many people starting to learn C language the wrong way, and then to help them to get the good habits after that, it's really hard and it takes a lot of time to change the habits because they are used to code the wrong way. So Go does not require semicolons, you already noticed. Go takes a strong stance on code formatting. The Go FMT tool rewrites code into the standard format, and the Go tool FMT subcommand applies Go FMT to all the files in the specified package, or the one in the current directory by default. All Go source files in the book have been run through Go FMT, and you should get into the habit of doing the same for your own code. Declaring standard format by fiat eliminates a lot of pointless debate about trivia, and more importantly enables a variety of automated source code transformation that would be unfeasible if arbitrary formatting were allowed. Blah, blah, blah. Many text editor can be configured to run GoFMT each time you save a file. So that's what VS Code is doing with the package I have. Okay. Let's go through now command line arguments. So we'll probably come up with something like echo or something. Most programs process some input to produce some output. That's pretty much the definition of computing. But how does a program get input data which to operate? So let's not read that, it's not interesting. So the point here is that they want to teach us that os.args is to actually take argument to your binary or main function. So they gave an example that we will copy or echo. I was sure. That's always the same way to learn it. So package main, nothing changes. Oh, rename. Doesn't work this way, right? Yeah, maybe. I'm so much not used to. Okay, open. Name. .go. Sorry for that. So package main import fmt os. So we call OS to get the argument. So func main, and then var s sep string. So here for the first line, okay, yeah, of course. For the first line, var s sep, we have declared two variables, s and sep, which are both string. You can do this way instead of writing this way. And actually, you can probably not write this way. But yeah, or instead of writing, for example, var s string and var sep string, you can declare both at the same time because they're the same type. This way, can we do that, for example? Just no, okay. Because they are the same type, you can do that this way. So for it's a loop, we start with a loop at the second example. That's quite awesome. For people who doesn't understand what is a loop, it can be a bit weird. Then OS args. So here we're gonna loop on all the OS arguments that we have. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna add into s sep plus OS args e. Oh, what? I don't think it's the best way to do that, but anyway. Okay. So by default, I guess that's the string s and sep both as the value empty string. So what we are doing here is that we're going to enter a loop with an incrementation. So we declare e at first with first value 1, and then while e is smaller, how to say that? Yeah, smaller than the length of all the arguments we have, then we increment. We do that and then we increment. So how it works. The first, before the semicolon, the first is at first what you do. So at first I declare e at 1. Then I do that. The second instruction is I do that while this condition is true. And then at the end of every time I loop, the third parameter here of the for is what I'm gonna do. So every time I pass to the loop, I increment e. So s gonna take the value of the first argument with sep before, and sep is just a space. So at first it's an empty string and then it becomes a space. So for example, now we can run it. To run hello world. So it's not hello world, echo 1. So here it will just do nothing because I didn't give any argument. But for example, if I print now hello as first parameter, it's gonna print hello. Second argument is world, then it's gonna print hello and world with a space between. Okay, they just tried. It's just the behavior of echo hello world, and it's print hello world. But echo has much more options. But anyway, it's not the point. So for me, it's really weird to learn this way. But yeah, I think I've been clear. I've explained while writing the code. So what does it say? Commands begin with, oh, okay, yeah. That's something that you need to also know. That's command in Golang start with double slash. So here is a line which is not processed. I don't know if you can say that this way, but this line is a command. So when you're gonna compile it, it's just gonna be ignored, or the code will not It's just to write something that could be interesting for your colleague. For example, this function is doing something. Well, this sentence is obviously not useful. Sometimes it's really good to have like to comment your code and just say, oh, need to be reviewed because it's slow. You can come up with this kind of thing. So sometimes you don't have the time and you need to code something really fast. So you just come up with a solution and then you write a small comment saying that this should be reviewed and changed later on. All right. So also something I should maybe explain. So this is the same than writing this. It's quite common in many languages, so don't need to really explain it, I think, but even E++ is incrementation. It's a post-incrementation of E. So we could have the pre-incrementation this way. I'm not sure it exists in Go, by the way. Let me check. No, doesn't seem to exist. So in C language, you can have the pre-incrementation, which say that it's gonna be it's gonna increment before going inside the block, and E++ is you increment after. So anyway, it doesn't exist in Golang. So E++ is the post-incrementation, meaning it's the same way that it's the same thing that writing E plus 1. I'm not sure you can do that here. Let me check. Yeah, you can. So that's the same. But obviously it's more clear. It's clearer this way for programmer. Right. That's all about this one. Created itself in loop and this time the loop index variable. So yeah, we are using the index variable. So OS args, we start by 1 because 0 is actually the name of the file. So let me just change by 0 and it will display also the name of the file. So here we are not compiling, so ourselves, so we come up with a temporary name, and you can see it. So for example, the binary is here. But if I build this one, and I call it echo. Now if I run this hello world, then you can see it also prints the binary name. So the first argument is always the binary name. It can be useful sometimes, but not this case. So here we start by 1, and then we use this I as an index to go through the OS args. So here, OS args, if I write, for example, echo hello world with the new binary I've compiled a few seconds ago. So OSArg looks like something like that. It's an array, it's or a slice in Golang, but it's just actually a table where you can actually find in every case of this table the value of the thing. So for example, it's going to be echo, the second index of, the second index or the second entry of this table slice is hello, and then OS args is gonna be world. So it's just a table of all the parameters, all the arguments that has been given to your binary. And the first one is binary name. And then it's go on this way. The more you add parameters and the more the table slice. We should call that slice in Go, but I like the way to call that a table, kind of. So the more you have arguments, the more the slice is gonna be bigger. And that's pretty almost everything I need to tell here. Oh yeah, they also explain the for loop. Maybe it's gonna be clearer for you than my explanation, but they say that for, so let me comment it to make sure that it's not, you understand it's not a code here. So for the first parameter of the for is the initialization, the second one is the condition, and the third one is the post, and then your body. That's how they explain. So you can have nothing inside the for, like you can have whatever you want. From the school, I've been learning Go. I've been learning programming language. We have this rule where you should never have more than 25 lines inside the body, and I keep working this way because I really think it makes things really, really more clearer when you read code, and you don't have to go through 100 lines. So it's always good to split your code by small functions, at least less than 25. It's better. That's my opinion, but I think it's better. And you can also have like in other language you have the while and condition. So in Golang it's gonna be the same. You're gonna use for, and you just have a condition, and then you do something. If you want to have like in other language a loop, an infinite loop, you can then just remove the condition and go this way, and it's gonna never stop. Okay, we have seen the loop. What is the next example? They have changed. Oh, they used the range. Yeah, that's why I was confused at first, and now I prefer this way. So now let's go with the echo tool. So that's the same thing, but we are gonna use another way to do a loop, which is used a lot in Golang. Or from what I've seen on the code source I have read on GitHub, most of the people use this way. So let me show you. So maybe you can use this actually. Pop package main doc, then func main s sep doc. So this is a glyph. So I don't know. Yeah, they probably want to show another way to do things, but this is definitely really, really dirty. I prefer the one they show on the previous one, this one, which is for me really better, like really better. Anyway, so let's go on. I'm gonna explain this also. Range OS args 1 s plus equal sep plus arg sep equal up space, then fmt println s. So main redeclared in this block. Yeah, because we're in the same package. Just ignore it. It's fine. So what they're doing, they declare s and sep with empty string both, and then they use the range. So that's where it's interesting. Range is designed this way. So for index value for a slice. Okay, so slice. For a slice, it works this way. So we go inside the slice, which is an array. So for example, here we have the slice echo hello world. So this is a slice, and then that's what we are doing here. Oh, actually no, we are not. So the slice OS args looks like this actually, and what we are doing here, we are just taking from the first to the last. So it could be written this way, probably, but if you write nothing after the two dot, it means that it goes until the end. So if you want to start by the second, by the index 2, then it will not count this one. It's gonna remove those one, and osarg dot 2 dot will be just world. Okay, so what they do, they skip the first one by using this index slice 1 2 dot. So then we have os args equal to okay, and then here the index is flat. They could have a I, E, for example, but here, like it's not used at all, then you don't need to specify it. You put an underscore, meaning that you are not going to use the value here. And then they use the arg. So in the loop, the block, every time they loop inside the os args 1 dot 2 dot, arg's gonna take the value of the one where the loop is actually working on. So now, for the first time we pass on it, the first gonna be hello, so arg's gonna be hello. So s, which is actually nothing for the moment, we will add to it sep, which is also nothing, and then we will add arg, which is hello. So inside s now we have hello. Then we change sep by the space because we want to have a space on the next one. So then we go again inside the loop because there is still world here. Then args take the value of world. We take the first one, that s now is hello, as you know. So it's gonna be hello plus a space plus world. And then sep is equal to a space, but it was already the case. And then we print it. So now, if we use that, it's gonna just print the same thing. Go run echo hello world. Then it prints hello world. It's another way. Range is for them who know Ruby on Rails or Ruby. It's the same that each, and I really like range. It shows that you know what you're doing, and also you can have the index or the value. It's a slice, so it works this way. But if you would have like how it's called in Golang, it's a make, I think. Or if you have like something with a key value, like a dictionary in Python, key value, then here the first one gonna be key, and the second one gonna be value for, well, I don't have an example right now, but if you would have a something which has this string, well, I don't have any example right now, but the first one won't be the index, but it would be the key, and the second one would be the value. All right. So what the book is saying about this? Each iteration of the loop range produces a pair of value, the index and the value of the element at the index. In this example, we don't need the index, but the syntax of a range loop requires that if we deal with the element, we must deal with the index too. One idea would be to assign the index to an obviously temporary variable, like temp, and ignore its value. But Go doesn't permit unused local variables, so it would this will result in a compilation error. Yeah, that's true. The solution is to use the blank identifier. Oh, it's called blank identifier. So good for me, I learned something. This is called the blank identifier, whose name is underscore. The blank identifier may be used whenever syntax requires a variable name, but program logic does not. Blah, blah, blah. Why should you prefer one form to another? The first form of show variable. Yeah. No. In the amount of data involved in large, it would be costly and simpler and more consumption would use join function to string package. Oh, so now they come up with the best solution. Let's create a new one. echo3.go. So now the solution they propose is to stop going with range, because range can be range, or anyway loop is slow. So they use println, and then we're gonna use strings join os args, right? Tuck. So we use another package called strings, which has a bunch of lot of functions for string type. So here, what we are doing, we are just joining os args one to dot, so all the parameter given to O binary, and we join them with a space between. So here, if I go run echo 3 hello world, it join hello world with a space. But we could join with a space and a small dash. I think we say dash. Then you have hello space dash space world. I'm curious. So what the book is saying is that join is better for what it's. They say that if the amount of data involved is large, this could be costly. So it would be costly to use a loop, and they say it would be better to use join. Now I'm curious to know what join is doing and how it works. So that's what is good with Golang, is that you can actually just go through the source code of the language as that fast. It's not like so blurry that so blurry like C language, where the upper source code, for example, is a nightmare to read, and they involve assembler sometimes. So here they used Golang to make Go function. So what join is doing? Switch len A. They take the size of A. So the string. If it's 0, then it returns nothing. If it's 1, it just returns the first one. If it's 2, it just print the first one and the second one with the separator between. Okay. Okay. To avoid a loop, probably. 3. And then you can also see why they didn't use a loop. And they explain here, probably. So you can read the issue that have been made. Skip slice byte to string when argument doesn't escape. So someone asked a question. Could be removed. Could be. Okay. So that special case for common small values, probably because they had a problem at some point. Let's continue. N len separateur fois len de A moins 1 fois I. So we have a loop here. Okay. It still use loop and range, but I think there is probably something I don't really understand here. It's happening. Well, that's not the point anyway. That's something that's probably I should take a look later as well. But here, you can do in one line what we did for the other one in few more by using a package that already exists called string. Now they gave few exercise. I'm gonna write it here. Exercise 1.1, modify the echo program to also print OS args0, the name of the command that invoked it. Exercise size 1.2, modify the echo program to print the index and value of each of its arguments, one per line. Okay. Exercise 1.3. 1.3 experiment to measure the difference in running time between potentially inefficient versions and the one that use strings adjoin. Okay, interesting. So the first one, modify the echo program to also print OS arg0. So I already did it actually. So let's change it to the first one. I just changed the, how they call that, the initialization variable. Ew. It's back. I hate that. Disappear. I don't want you here. Bye bye. Okay. So now go run echo1. But go hello world. Right. Now it also prints the command. So exercise 1 checked. Code check. Modify the echo program to print the index and value of each of its argument, one per line. So now I guess that's for the range one. I'm discovering some key binding by mistake. So here we're gonna use the index E. So now they don't need to be put inside any separator, and because we're gonna print them one by line, and I guess that we can also go to all of them. So fmt print ln index and arg, and that's it. I removed this because if I have this we won't compile, and it should work. Go run echo2.go. Oh yeah, of course. I don't need to print it anymore. And then here 0, let me just put something. Argument. All right. So index 0 argument and then the argument. And now if I put hello world to argument, then 0 is the command, 1 is the first argument, so hello, 2 is the second argument, so world. So I guess exercise 1-2 is done. Now this one is actually really interesting. They want us to measure the difference between the first echo and the one with the join. So I guess on a small one we won't see a big difference. So we can use the command, the bash command time, and run go. So I also think it's better to compile. So go build echo 1 dot go, and we're gonna call that echo 1, and go build more. Oh, but wait, because we don't want to print the commands. We don't print it here. So we won't print the first argument with this up. Let's check it works. Echo 1, hello. Yes. And now go build echo 3, echo 3.go. Echo 3, hello. If I print nothing, it prints nothing. Yeah, good. So now we can use time. And go run, no, not go run, echo 1, hello. So it's really too fast because there is not enough. Okay, I have to come up with many more. All right. Not gonna be good enough. Let's take a huge one then. Okay, time echo 1, maybe too huge. Yes, I may freeze my. Okay. Let's take the same amount now. CD echo echo 3, and they don't give the answer of the exercise, so we will have to. No, okay. Maybe I'm not supposed to use time, but to come up with the golden one. I don't know how to use it. Start. Okay, I saw an example somewhere else. So I'm still freezing. Okay. Well, I should have read carefully. So I should use the function, the package time of Go to measure the time it took. So we start at time now, and then at the end Okay, and then at the end we fmt I don't know if it works like that. They don't really explain it. Let's see. Time since start. I do just that. It was the same here. Start time now, and then after printing ln. Not sure about that. Let's check. So go build. Go. No, not that. Go build echo 3. So now they're both compiled again. And now if I do echo 1 hello world. Okay, so now we can see the time it took to be executed with the first one, and now hello world. So yeah, there is a difference. The join is faster, but I don't know if you remember when we watched at the code of the join. For 2 arguments, it was not going into a loop, so it has sense. And we were going into a loop. Let's check where we have more than when we have more than 3. Okay, so let's put 4 hello world arc3 arc4. Okay, so 51, and now let's do it with echo 3 31. So now it's faster. They probably do something here that's make it faster, but obviously I would need to take more time to realize what and why. Yep, not for right now. So I can say that we check that the join is actually faster, and it is. So we can consider this exercise done. And we will see later, but I have already seen many people using Go Bench or something like that in Go, a tool that is already provided with Go. Let's check if we can read exactly what it does. But it's used a lot, and I have often seen on Reddit and some other paper or Medium, some people using it to actually show that by upgrading or updating a function, they have earned a lot of seconds to reply. So bench. I think it was Go Bench. No, Go Benchmark. Where is that? Go Bench. It's maybe another tool, then it's not built in. The Go testing. It's with it's with Go test, and then the minus bench equal, and then for example we can see the test passed, and it say also the seconds. So I don't have any example to show you right now for this one, but definitely it's really something really important for the Go developers. They often check the benchmark when they update or change a function or use another one, and I totally understand that it's something for a compiled programming language that's we need to be efficient when we code something, and we need to make sure that by changing something or using another library or package, we are not making the code slower. And it's also good for you to learn to benchmark and understand why a function is slower or faster than another one. So for example, it's really interesting, and I should dig inside this case where actually join is faster than the loop, the range loop, and just because they have created this kind of channel or something. I need to check exactly what they did and why copy is faster. But definitely benchmark is something really important. I think I'm gonna stop on this one because after that we are going to um, another exercise which is not related to the Hello World or the Echo anymore. Now we are more reading a file and everything. So I will keep the following for the next video, but I think for this one it's quite good. Actually, it's enough, and we already see many things and did few exercise. So yep, I think that's all. If you have any question about this video, you can still post a comment to the video, and I will take the time to answer all of them and make sure I don't skip anyone. Thank you very much for watching, and I wish you to have a good evening. Bye.